Minasan, konnichiwa, and welcome to IC React. Today, we are going to talk about marriage. When it comes to marriage, I wonder how much meaning or how much do you understand when you go through this kind of life journey. This video is actually, I just kind of stumbled upon this, and I just really think this could be a good conversation or discussion. What are the points of an anti-marriage versus pro-marriage? Like, which one are you guys? After this video, let me know what you think about this.
Welcome to Bridge the Gap, a show where we aim to build a bridge of understanding between opposing views. Each episode, you'll see our participants sit down to discuss some thought-provoking statements. If they disagree with the statement, they'll leave their seat and allow those that agree to explain themselves.
Marriage is an outdated institution.
The marriage, you say, for better, for worse, till death do us part, and people get divorced all the time. I would consider getting married today if it was illegal to get divorced.
Would you agree that if 50% of people that get married are doing it, it's not that hard?
So I'm a little bit of confused of what's going on, but I've heard about this a lot of times. And I'm not going through statistics right here, but when she says something like it's easy, it's a lot easier for a lot of people to get married. I wonder, what does it mean?
I believe I'll get married someday.
Said I'm getting married in January, and I've been engaged since last February. My name is Melvin. I'm a chartered surveyor. Been engaged for almost a year and a half.
But engagement does not equal marriage.
Yeah, no, obviously not yet. But it's a long time to really think about it and decide if that's really what you want to go for.
Why did you guys choose to get married when the contract is against you?
Contract is against
Yeah,
you.
so like women can leave and take half and put you on child support. So if I was a guy, I would have a really hard time getting married.
I kind of not know in person, okay? Kind of know this girl from Abba and Pritch, because, shout out to them. I hope someday they'll notice me or something like that. But, just for a conversation, obviously, because they put a lot of points out there.
Pearl and I do YouTube.
And she actually kind of raises some topics that are very unpopular. You know what I mean? It's kind of against as women, but at the same time, this is the thing about being a live streamer or putting your opinions out there is how much of it is actually you believe in and how much of it is because it'll create a conversation, or for some people I would say, I don't know the meaning of the word cloud.
And she can take your kids. Men only get sole custody 7% of the time, and women leave 80% of the time, and they leave 90% if they're college educated. So if I was a dude and I was looking at these numbers in front of me, I would have a really hard time with it.
If I'm a man, the same thing. I can agree with that because I've been telling this kind of for a long time. When you're a man, and when you marry someone, and for whatever reason, and it's happening, and we cannot really, close our eyes and tell that it's not really like that. I'm not saying most of it. I'm just saying it does happen that sometimes when they broke up, a lot of their hard-earned money, and I'm not saying that a woman doesn't deserve to get that, but there's a lot of negative side when they kind of divorce. In defense to men, it seems like that, they kind of get robbed kind of thing. So I know this is happening, but at the same time, let's watch more so we can know a little bit of what they're saying.
Hi, I'm Camilla. I am an event host and presenter. I had a 2-year engagement. In that time, I was thinking, I think it was too long. Yeah, so by the time I got down the aisle, I was hella confused and I didn't know whether that was exactly the right thing for me to do. However, I was the higher earner. So I didn't look at that contract like it would affect me, to be honest.
But you're the girl. And
Yeah.
so like the courts favor women in general. And so like from a girl's point of view, I want to get married. Of course I want to get married. But like if I was a guy, I would have a really hard time with it. And you could say it's the type of woman, but 50% of marriages end in divorce. Women leave the majority of the time.
See, the thing is this. Sometimes I feel like a lot of people are throwing out a lot of statistics out there. And this is my thing with the statistics. It's like, yes, it's kind of like a guide for a lot of people to know what's going on. But at the same time, when you throw statistics out there, you cannot just throw it out there just like that. I need reference. I need where you get it. I need those information. A lot of people are using statistics without saying anything behind it and just pretend that just because they said so or something like that. So, like when it comes to statistics, it's just like, I don't know. How about you guys? What do you think of statistics like? Like, are you the same as me? Or you're the same people as well that kind of like guide their life through statistics?
I don't think it's the type of woman. I think it's that they're paying women to leave. That's true. That's true. When you have a contract that someone's paid to leave, like more people are going to do it. And you could argue that it's the quality of the woman, but if it's a 50% chance she can take your kids and take half.
Even with me, I never thought of I'm gonna get married someday. And the thing is, like a lot of us people usually think different perspective when it comes to marriage. Like some people would think about it as love. That's why they get married. And some people would think of it as a contract. Back in the day, marriage for me, it's almost like this is the end. This is what is the best for you kind of thing. So it's very hard for me to get into marriage seriously. And I just really feel that a lot of people doesn't really take into consideration how much a marriage can actually be real work. That's why a lot of people doesn't get through the end lines.
My name's Ayakunu. I'm an entrepreneur.
Pro
And then
marriage.
I think for me, obviously, you're painting a picture of a big risk. Let's just be honest. There's no growth outside of the realm of taking risks. I see my marriage to my wife as something. I call it covenant rather than a contract, and I see it as a commitment to my life for her. So my mindset is not going to be about, well, what if? It's going to be about what if this could be something that could last a lifetime.
This dude, I would totally and 100% agree with him. That's how I see marriage now. It's a commitment. It's like you're committing your whole life in this relationship to work. And that's the important thing when it comes to marriage. And if you cannot be committed to that type of relationship and all the ups and downs of a marriage, then definitely your marriage will go down. But for him, that's a good start. I think that he thinks of it as a commitment because then he actually put a lot of thought in it, which is kind of nice. And I hope you guys, if you ever want to get married, think of it really, really, really hard. If only you wanted to make it a lifetime. But if you don't want to and you want to get married and multiple times, it doesn't really matter for you, then do you.
But I think it's to do with your attitude in terms of what marriage means to you.
100%.
Because marriage doesn't necessarily mean the contract. It means, as you said, the covenant and the love.
Yeah.
If you're not ready for that selflessness, because that's, for me, why marriages fail, is because people are, their value bases are different.
Yes.
Their goals and aspirations for what they want out of that union, marriage, that's where the clash happens.
They
If they're
ask
not
people-
aligned, it won't work.
No, they ask people why they file, and the number one reason is financial. And oftentimes it's like because a girl starts out earning her husband and then she...
And that's what I'm saying about values.
Yeah.
If you love someone, you're going to want to see them grow.
When it comes to marriage, it's all about the values and stuff like that. That is very, very true. When it comes to marriage, love fades. Sometimes you wake up and you don't feel it. But if you have a commitment and you have the same values, same kind of like what do you want for each other to be successful at and stuff like that, then that's going to be a good relationship. But the thing is, when the girl in the red dress says something about financial, it's almost like you're throwing away that conversation and then putting things like financial things, which is, we all know that's a lot of, rant from a lot of men, that a lot of women actually is doing this because of financial situation. But there's a lot of factors behind that to kind of like put it into an argument of what they're trying to talk about.
Marriage is good for families. Like, I want to get married, but I just think that the laws need to change to make it equal for men. In the US, it's even worse, but here there's issues too. But in the US, like, I'm from Chicago, and there's a case where a woman literally took the kid to Japan.
Wow.
And she claimed child support because she said, oh, he's not in the kid's life legally. And she gets roughly 10K a month to steal his child. When there are cases like that all over the country, there's cases like that in the UK too. When that is the outcome of divorce, like, if I was a guy, I would be scared shitless to get married.
I might have to disagree on that. And this is the thing. And I hope I made justice in how my thought process is. And I could explain this to you guys. One, she said something about Japan, and I'm half Japanese, and we do have kind of like that abduction thingy going on when it comes to like parents and co-parenting, and that happens, and I get that, but at the same time, I feel like you're blaming this on the law, because of the law is favoring most of the time women. But at the same time, this is what my thought process comes with. Marriage is a serious thing because usually you get married because you want to have a family. Now, to choose a partner is the biggest decision that you should ever make when you get into a marriage, because these things and the law itself when it comes to marriage and divorce does this. And that's why I think when you talk about who's to blame here and what's to change, it's so easy to kind of like blame the outside forces, but it's just the effect of the behavior and the choices you've made in your life what leads you into that kind of robbery for guys, as they were saying, because I've heard about this many times. It's unfair. But at the same time, that is the reason that I feel the root of the problem is being pushed over, and we blame all these kinds of laws. And I know it's a factor. Don't get me wrong. I know it's a factor, and things happen. Sometimes you just really doesn't. But if you choose a partner that you think can understand you, and you choose a partner really better, and you think about it, and you have the same values, you have the same principles in life, then even if you get divorced, you can talk through things out because you have the same values. That is what I'm trying to kind of like understand with a lot of people that get married and get through this, is they only think about the after effect, or the effect of the choices they made in life. But they don't think about it as, like, what are the solutions? Especially if you have kids in this when she was talking about that. And it's not the law problem. It's whoever take away the kids, she's a very cruel person. You know what I'm saying? So I think it comes down to, if you're going to get married, please make sure that you pick the nice person and a person with principles, and actually think about the kids if you are going to have kids.
My name is Kit Isarosho. I'm a full-time actor and content creator. Yes, marriage can mean different things to different people, but the contract is very much there. And the way the laws work today, it puts men in an incredibly vulnerable position. A lot of people don't realize that divorce is one of the number one factors for why men over 40 kill themselves, because they are emotionally, financially, economically devastated. There's not really much you can have, or rather, you can have everything that the meaning of marriage brings outside of the contract of marriage.
My name is Sarah Garvey. I am a professional podcaster, social commentator. I think that marriage in the Western world has become a joke. It's become a reality show. You got love at first sight. And so when people are watching these things on a day-to-day basis and consuming marriage, literally, there are people on TV that have 90 days to get a visa and marry.
See, this is kind of like another thing. See how it's easy to blame the social media and media for a person to be, acting the way they act. The thing is, we forgot those people have parents. If you're a kid, you grow up, you become an adult. I think it's pretty easy to understand what's good and bad, right? If you want to know the real thing or the real deal. This is kind of like social media, it's choices as well. That's how I see it. It's choices what you watch, it's choices what you kind of like put into your life, informations you take, on TV, on social media, on YouTube, everything that you hear, everything that you watch, it's almost like, you have a choice. Take that information, implement it in your life. I don't know if that's the right English, by the way. But what I'm saying is, you have a choice. If you're a kid, maybe I can understand. But if you're an adult, and you make a choice, little choices, not just the big ones, but the little choices of everyday life. And then when things go wrong, and when things are not favoring you, it's so easy for us to blame things around us. So, just get better.
Come on, you guys don't think that says something about our society today?
Yeah, the society's broken.
And
That's what I was going to say. It comes back to the propaganda of why those shows exist, and maybe the agenda behind of why that show actually exists.
No, the thing is, it exists because it can only exist if there is a market for consumption for it. Because you can have something on the shelf that people don't like, and people won't buy it. But the bottom line is,
that's relatable. Everybody knows.
Right, so then the society's broken.
So paint a picture of what that should look like, or propaganda and agenda behind that, and be like.
So society doesn't take marriage seriously, and that you can go back to the statistics. 50% of marriages end in divorce. If I
that doesn't mean.
And
No, but hang on.
on top of that, it's mostly the.
That doesn't mean they take it seriously.
but hang on. But if I said to you, you can go to your greatest holiday destination, the best one you can go to, you can think of in your mind, and you get on that plane, and that plane has a 50% chance of reaching your destination, you're going to get on that plane?
Well, no, but that's two different things.
No, you won't, because you know that it's too risky.
Is that guy sound so bitter? Or is that guy sound so pessimistic? Look, I've been a pessimist before as well. But the thing is, it doesn't get me with what life I have right now, which is happiness. Taking chances, taking risk, for me, that's what makes life beautiful. It's just whether you are choosing risk that are fatal. When it comes to marriage, when it comes to love, everything is a gamble. You don't know. You know why? Because there's another person involved in this. And that's why conversation is very, very important. And choosing your words, telling what you feel, telling exactly what you want, knowing who you are, those are important stuff. Be pessimistic about like what if, or like 50% is saying like they're divorcing and 50% is not, it's risky. Then don't be bitter if you cannot find someone for you, or don't be bitter if you're gonna be alone because you didn't risk anything, and it's this life, it's almost like this is the thing. That's why I keep talking about entitlement and stuff like that in this channel, is because I feel like there's no hard work anymore. Feels like everyone wants, like everyone feels like they're so worth it. I deserve this, or like I'm so worth this. But at the same time, what work did you put in it? Like really, for real, right? Because I really do hope for everyone to find the partner they're looking for. But before you get through that, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of hardships and struggles and, like bad experiences here and there. So, like getting through life isn't easy. So I hope, this channel and whatever, like, your interactions is very important, because I'm pretty sure someone out there might be thinking the same thing, and it might kind of like give them peace a little bit. So I don't know, like, if you think the same way as me, please let me know in the comments down below. So I love interactions. So guys, if you like this type of stuff and it's kind of like interesting for you to know a little bit of opinions and thoughts from me, from a multicultural girl, or I would say like trying to figure out different cultures and different behaviors and stuff and different life journey that I think a lot of us need in our life to kind of like have a discussion, throw out our opinions, and get a lot of information from different life experiences. This is actually what I do in this channel. So hopefully you like this. And if you have anything that you think you want to have or you want to discuss, just let me know and follow me on my social media. Send me links in there on my social media. DM me, PM me. I'll react on it if you want, so we can have this discussion like a real conversation, a real open conversation. It's okay to agree and disagree, or agree to disagree. Okay, agree to disagree, That's what we do here in Icy Fit. So I hope you like this. And if you're not subscribed yet, please do subscribe and like and share this video. And I hope to see your interactions, and I hope to see you again on Icy React next time. Thank you guys, and I appreciate you a lot. Mwah, 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 mwah. Ciao, ciao. Bye.